A personal favorite of mine, coming in just high or just shy of the 11,000 pound mark. This is an Eagle 321 here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. I love this thing. I think it's basically as small, like a 35-foot mark's about as small as you can really make a fifth wheel, while still giving it opposing super slides and a king bed capable upper deck slide. We deck these things out with you know, dual awnings, more rides, steps, second air conditioner, has the industry's best warranty in this class. It just hits all the notes, it checks all the boxes. We'll get it all opened up in just a second, but first, one of the things I like to show you here is the travel accessibility, and this is, I think, an excellent you know, traveler's floor plan. It gives you that nice living space when you get there, but it gives you enough room to do the bare necessities when you're in transit, including getting here to the refrigerator. If you go around the corner of the slide out, you can get to half the dining, and of course the bedroom and bathroom areas are very easy to reach. So you know, excellent destination space and just enough travel accessibility to get you comfortable getting there. And destination comfort is what this one is all about. We have those opposing slides, that ceiling fan pushing around a lot of airflow, all of the windows open for airflow. And of course the Eagle modern farmhouse decor that we're seeing here, which is now found all over the place at Jayco through almost all of their segments. There's a lot to love about this one. This is one of the most popular Eagles that we have ever had, and built just like this. We have people come from all over the country liking this one right here. So why is that? What is it about this one that works so well? And the answer is 100 little things. And a lot of it just kind of stems from what I call Eagle doing Eagle things. One of the big questions I like to ask is, you know, who is Eagle? Why are these built? Who is our target buyer here? And Eagles are interesting because there's something more the size of a 3/4 ton, you know, truck tower, but they have the features of like a bigger 1 ton kind of RV. Like, you know, direct facing entertainment right here with that heat massage theater, USB plugs, all that good stuff. The windows are fully framed out, very much like a North Point or a Pinnacle, you know, those big full-time live-in Jaycos. And what's interesting, this is constructed exactly like them in terms of materials and methods. It's just physically a little smaller. And what I mean by that is, like, up here, the ceiling tapers down more in an Eagle than it does a North Point. That's, you know, one of them, about the only physical construction differences between them. North Point has a vaulted roof, inside and outside. This is vaulted exterior, but they're both, you know, 0 to 100 degree rated. They both have the industry's best 2+3 year warranty, all kinds of things. So you can see how the TV can swing around for easy viewing here. Naturally, our electric space heating fireplace down below that. We're going to talk a little bit more about the entertainment when we can get behind that TV. But first, take a note of this, this sofa right here. Both side stands have a sealed edge thermal foil countertop material on them. Also, if we take a look here, you can also see how that folds down into a nice adult-sized guest sleeper, but interestingly, you can still use one of the 2 theater seats that we have right here for guest sleeping, or just kind of like if someone's trying to lounge or snooze, or you wake up before, you know, like the grandkids or something like that, you still have a spot where you can sit down, click on the TV, they can start waking up real slow. You know, you never really lose the flow of the RV here. And you can even still sit at the other theater seat when that hide-a-bed is open. Note, again, that all of the windows open for airflow. And while we're talking about windows, you have just panoramic campsite viewing going on with this thing. You have windows from tip to tail, up through the hallway, a full viewing window in the main entry door. Everything gives you stellar visibility of your campsite, so you're not looking at the neighbors. Now, the table arrangement here, this is a couples coach first and foremost, but what's also kind of neat, if we take a look, you can see that you've got what I call a destination dining desk here with that gas strut lifted pop top. There's a extension leaf that pops out and a pair of fold-away guest chairs. I've got one kind of stuffed behind the far chair there just to kind of give you an idea. They can stand up and take up almost no space, and they store very nicely under the master bed, although you could put them in the pass-through or the front closet if you wanted to. Now, one of the cool things they're doing now on these Eagles is the BM Pro system. And that's part of what these little switch panels are here. You're going to spot several of these little switch panels as we walk through the RV. And they all do different things. They're all relative to the location in which you find them in the RV. So like this one here operates the main ceiling lights, the dining lights, and the exterior lights, because you're on the exterior side of the camper where you can see your campsite. Switches in the kitchen, in the bedroom, or in the actual bed slide will do different things. And they all talk to this thing right here. Now, like a lot of things, like in Command, like One Control, you can sync your phone to this, but what I love about this one is you don't have to. You can still operate like your lights. You can still operate your slides and your awnings and stuff right from here without needing to use the whole touchscreen. Although if you're interested, you can obviously still utilize that for the climate control features. Like you could be sitting in your theater seat, or cooking in the kitchen, or laying down in bed or something like that. And if you're too hot, too cold, no big deal. You can crank the air up or down kind of, you know, to your comfort level without ever having to like move or anything like that. I said we come back and take a look at the entertainment. We're going to do that as we start scanning through our kitchen storage, because the TV area actually gets in and on the act. Now, one thing I want to note here, we've got a good angle on it currently, and the camera's showing it better than normal. When we look at the modern farmhouse decor that we're looking at, a lot of times people say, I don't like that black cabinetry. It's not black. It's like a chocolate espresso. It's a darker, richer brown. And the light is hitting it just right now where I think you get to see that. But first, that entertainment talk we promised. Up top, hidden away, is our DVD Bluetooth player. And, well, Bluetooth DVD player. But it has HDMI inputs. And so if you want to get like a streaming stick, it's very friendly for that. But no, up here, they actually run high-def wiring, and they have power outlets. So if you want to add like a satellite brain or something, you're all set up for that too. Then behind the TV, you've got shelf space. So whether you're going to use that for like movie cases, or if you're actually going to use it for storage space, you're all set. Over here in the kitchen proper, I love the indirect lighting inside of that pantry right there. And adjustable shelves in that. You know, you can move them about it's like an inch or half inch to really customize how much shelf space, you know, and storage space you have. Here in the kitchen, we've got all soft touch drawers, and you can see how there's even full drawers below the oven and refrigerator. And I do, as a dealership, we are highly slanted toward gas electric RV refrigerators for floor plans like this that are very good for towing and going, because they have better service records when they're, you know, on the road. Residential fridges are fine if you're going to stay parked mostly, but if you roll them down the road a lot, they're not made for that kind of jostling and abuse, and trying to find somebody to work on one of those is about like enacting an act of Congress, and I don't think I need to say anything more than that. If you prefer the residential fridge, give us a call. We'll get you one made with it, but there's reasons that we build them this way. Now over here in the corner, you got your Keurig corner, your coffee bar corner, and I love the drawers and the places for all your like flavorings and whatnot, but there's also outlets back there. It doesn't have to be a coffee maker, it could be any appliance. A closet right by the door is something I really love, and you see that you got the Drunken Octopus coat hanger jobs here, but with a little bit of razzle-dazzle and Legend of Zelda magic, we can convert this into additional pantry storage space. Now as we back up past these beautiful solid surface countertops, I want to point out that this is an asymmetrical island. The sink is not dead center in the middle of it, which gives you more full-time prep space. The sink covers there, the dish drying rack, then you got the chef-grade bamboo cover there. Very handy stuff. Pop-up power post with household and USB plugs. But then you got this little bitty faucet right here, like Baby Yoda off the Mandalorian. Hopefully somebody knows what I'm talking about. Disney Plus coming out now. So this little guy, that feeds to a completely separate freshwater drinking system. So that the idea here being, if you want to, you can basically utilize what effectively look like Culligan jugs, instead of needing to worry about bringing along cases and cases of bottled water, which not necessarily always good to store a lot of bottled water, you know, if the plastic gets hot, not always super healthy for you. So this is an easier way to kind of work around that. And you'll find the jug, basically, here under the sink of eels. In North Points and Pinnacles, they tend to put it in the pass-through, but they have larger pass-throughs. You can see wastebasket down here, and still including a shelf so that we still have space for like our hand soaps, dish soaps, things of that nature. So this kitchen is just absolutely fantastic. And for a fifth wheel in this size range, in this weight range, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find one that has more storage and more effective use of space. And I'm actually starting with the lights off in the bathroom for good reason, because I don't have awesome exterior ambient lighting pumping in a lot of, you know, free bonus light pollution through the skylights and the vent fan here. But it gives me a good opportunity to kind of really demonstrate the nightlight feature that they have here. Additionally, you know, you've got full-on bright ceiling lights, but if you wake up in the morning, you know, after the clock gives out a warning, you don't think you're going to make it on time, you've got a handy little backlit morning mirror right here. You know, good for those morning, evening times when you're not ready for the full-on light to blind you like Manfred Mann kind of situation. A little bit easier on the eyes while you're adjusting, and then you can work your way up. Good linen space in here. Porcelain foot flush stool, plenty of leg room, so there's no twist 'em up bathroom yoga. There is a seat here in the shower, and I like that they went with that clear shower door and an accent wall for the shower panels, because it makes the whole thing look and feel larger. Now, Eagles are and have been, actually in their class, Eagles are among the most successful in terms of proving cold camp effectiveness. But the problem is, as a consumer, you can't see it. It's all hidden. And every manufacturer says, we've got an insulated trailer so good it could survive a space capsule on re-entry over Houston. Well, it's not, you know, there's a lot of false claims out there. But the problem is there's no whistleblowers in this industry. And there's very little regulation on terms of, like, what you can say about your RV. Because you can get away with saying, well, it was my opinion. And, you know, there's a whole murky area. But the reason I'm staring at this vent for so long is because look at how tall it is. Look at how thick an Eagle's roof is. Now, as you're shopping around, as you're comparing, start looking at things like that in other brands, and you'll see that there's a reason Eagles are not the least expensive. They're not the lightest weight. They're thicker, heavier. They don't pre-crack their exterior fiberglass. They have extra thick chassis and structures going on, especially in the upper decks. They do more things like more upper deck radiant barriers and thermal barriers than almost any other brand. So, just kind of keep that stuff in mind. You know, if I was personally getting into a fifth wheel, Eagles are nerd preferred, for sure. Now, up top here, a little bit different kind of vent fan system, too. A little bit different cover on it on top. Long story short, on a rainy day like today, I could leave that fan open and running and never have to worry about water bleeding in or out of here. Oh, and by the way, it is nice. They do have a true in-wall pocket door right here. Now, kind of the same thing. I want to start in the bedroom with the lights off, so that, again, I can kind of demonstrate those cool little BM Pro control panels. So there's one right on the wall here, right as we walk inside. And this switch panel is different from the one by the dinette. And it starts with, we have ceiling lights. And then we've got hallway lights behind me that you can't see right now. But we also have the lights to activate the slide out in and out. Now, the switch panel that's over there, that one has different switches. Like, it can operate the ceiling lights. It can operate exterior lights for security if you got to peek out those side breeze windows. It can operate the reading lights. All kinds of cool different things. Now, talking about options, we like to build our Eagles with the optional second air conditioner here. And that means that this has a 30,000 BTU air system. They use a full 15 for their second centralized air unit on these, which is, I mean, that's the same as like a Montana, a North Point, a Pinnacle. Actually, Eagle was doing it before most of those brands. 70 by 80 king bed upgrade, also available. We already kind of peeked at the storage under there when we were looking at the chair storage. And then, of course, we've got our front closet space up here. And one of the questions people like to know is it washer dryer ready? And even though less than 2% of people ever install a washer dryer, the answer is yes, it is. Which is what we're going to look at over here. This is combo washer dryer capable, but notice, instead of just leaving this ugly open gaping hole, they actually give you some shelf space in there so you can do something useful with it. And then notice too, Eagle gives us a taller dresser across from the bed. You've got a handy little phone charge station over there, and that's another one of those thermal foil sealed edge countertops on top of that dresser. Little details like that, little upgrades, little touches. That's what's going to separate Eagle from everybody. But the thing is, there's a ton of them in here. Now, bear with me as we step outside here. I am juggling an umbrella, a new camera with which I'm still getting familiar, and it's raining. A little bit, not bad. Thankfully, I've got a little bit of a break here, but I'm still getting a little bit of spritz. So I've got a lot going on. If the camera works a little jittery than normal, I do apologize. First, let's start off by taking a knee and looking up here at the ceiling of the basement area of these Eagles. You can see how it's got an all-aluminum skeleton. there's a direct air heat dump right here in the pass-through compartment, let alone what's going on under the floor area, which is all enclosed, heated, insulated, radiant barriers, all that stuff. But nope, so you've got a radiant barrier and insulation in the belly. We've got another full layer of radiant barrier here in the pass-through, plus direct air dump, plus everything that's going on in the bedroom, and then that thick ceiling we already talked about. That is why Jaycos don't just promise cold camp functionality, they have proven it with testing. Now over here on the left, we have TV hookups, USB plugs, motion lighting, and there's motion lights on both sides of the pass-through, which is just a really nice touch. Just one of those little, again, Eagle doing Eagle things. Now, we've got a little cold water sprayer port next to that, and note that extra handle on the MORryde stable steps to make it easy come and go up to that 6.5 foot tall residential sized entry door, which is again another big fifth wheel thing. So dual handles gives you something to always grab onto and be stable. A little peek of my umbrella kicking in there. And Eagle uses the nicer stable steps, just like North Point and Pinnacle, that have the gas strut so that they actually help you lift and lower those steps. And if you leave it like halfway open or closed, it'll effectively hold itself there. And again, that's what I mean by the fact that Eagle has, features of the next class and size up in something in a what is normally considered like 3/4 ton class right here. They have the features of a full-time fifth wheel. They just don't say full-time warranty on it. They have the same build and structure and all that as a North Point, which does have a full-time warranty. These are just lighter weight, less expensive. Pound for pound, Eagle is hard to beat. They are all slide-awning ready. Sometimes we'll actually build them that way. This one just happened to come in without it. We like to build different pieces of inventory different ways. Like we might have 2 of the 321s here at Haylett RV built differently, kind of with different target customers in mind. But things like that double air conditioner, the automatic leveling system, that kind of stuff we'll have those every single time we possibly can. Enclosed, heated, protected docking station, wicked winds that I'm doing my best to shield you from. The docking station itself actually has a galvanized rolled steel enclosure, which is just a nice cool touch. Best in class Goodyear Endurance radials, rated for 87 miles per hour at only 80 psi. And again, you can't really see much when I get down here, but enclosed, heated, insulated, 0-degree proven underbelly. A couple more cool features on the back here. We start with the J-Smart lighting system. That was another Eagle first, kind of like the farmhouse decor. Basically, most trailers, when you hit the brakes, you only get brake lights, tail lights. On an Eagle, and now a lot of other Jaycos, like if you flip on that left-hand turn signal, extra clearance lights up top and all associated side clearance lights will blink along with that. There are still very few other brands trying to do things like that. Like the Winnebago Voyage is one of the only other ones I've seen outside of Jayco. We are reverse travel lighting as well, that extra light beam above the camera prep. And some light features in the taillights themselves will light up to help illuminate behind you. And down here, Eagle has a 2-inch receiver hitch rated for 300 pounds of cargo capacity. I have heard rumor, I don't have this confirmed at this time, and I'm probably speaking ahead of when I should, that because Eagle HTs actually have a 3,000-pound towing hitch. Eagles have a 300-pound accessory hitch. I've heard rumor that full Big Brother Eagle here is going to potentially upgrade to a full towing hitch, but obviously that hasn't happened yet. So that's one of those things, if you're curious about, just give our team here at Haylett RV a call and we can investigate that for you. Guarantee you though, just logically, people are going to say, I want to get the one like that. Understand, it's probably going to run a couple bucks more because they're going to need to do some chassis work to make that happen. Dual power awnings, both easy tilt, both with lighting, and you can control those remotely via the BM control system. And even though it's a little rainy, I'm going to get up on that roof because it ain't snowy. Because a wet roof doesn't scare me. I mean, logically, if you're going to be cleaning this thing, the roof's going to be wet anyway. The roof actually has a pretty good grip about it. But this wind is not fun, especially with, I'm trying to shield the camera with an umbrella. So long story short, if you appreciate the daredevil level effort that we're going through here today at Haylett RV, please give our team the fair opportunity to earn your business. Now, these are all solar ready on the roof. You've got side solar prep and a roof solar prep with tons of blank space to go to work here. There is that different kind of bathroom vent enclosure that I mentioned, so that on a rainy day like this, it actually sucks air up from below. makes it very hard for water to get in there. The WineGuard Air 360 antenna system has an upgrade you can apply to it, where if you want to get like mobile LTE signals on a pay-as-you-go basis, that is available. And note that when you add that second air conditioner, it's actually a low profile, so you're not really adding, I think it's like, I don't know if it's even 2 inches to the total exterior height of this RV when that is added. Which someone's going to ask, is that included in the specs that you've listed at the beginning of the video? And it is not. Those are the specs for a standard build, so you probably want to add 1 or 2 inches of exterior height, although I don't really think that's going to make or break anything for anybody. So as you can see, a literal sea of inventory available for you here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. If you, again, appreciate the efforts that we're going through, all I ask, guys, is for a fair opportunity to earn your business, and there goes my umbrella. So, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. I'm going to have to go track that sucker down.